change my surroundings and everything that's around me.
Hey, what's good, my people? Welcome to another episode of the Progression Podcast, where every day we progressing and every L is a lesson. Now, today we got quite a few things to talk about, and we're gonna do so very shortly. Just got a few announcements to make before we do so. Now, if you guys have been enjoying the podcast, make sure you like the videos, subscribe to the channel so you guys can be updated when more material drops. And also, if you would, share the videos for your boy. I would greatly appreciate that. Now, with that being said, I also wanted to tell you guys that I just recently started a new podcast with a great friend of mine, DJ G94. This podcast is called Stats and Facts for all the sports fanatics, the sports heads, man. Come on over to the channel, subscribe. I'll have a link below or a photo so you guys can see what that channel looks like, and come join us, man. If you will come support us, we'll greatly appreciate that. Over there, we're talking about a variety of things from sports takes to just positive entertainment and just life in general. Now, with that being said, today our word for the podcast is perturbed, which means feeling anxiety or concern slash unsettled. And the reason why I feel like this word is so fitting is because this week I was facing just anxiety here and there, and I was thinking like, man, why why am I feeling anxiety like this? Because I'm not feeling down. I'm not depressed. I don't want to go into a spiral of feeling depressed. So like, why am I feeling perturbed right now? And something that it really taught me was that anxiety is an overall emotion. It's not just, what I mean, from sides of it doesn't just hit you from just being depressed or feeling down, or like, nah, anxiety can hit you with being excited. Anxiety can hit you from, what I mean, that positive adrenaline rush, right? When you're feeling super creative, you're feeling super inspired. And perturbedness can come with that too. Those times of feeling unsettled, feeling a little concerned, like, man, why am I feeling like this? Like, I'm good, but I'm feeling a little anxiety, like it's super normal. So I just wanted to say, like, I just wanted to give my little experience with perturbed this week, for those who can relate to it and feel the same way, or if you needed to hear that. I just hope that you guys can, what I mean, get a good perspective on, what I mean, just feeling perturbed and anxiety. Which brings me to my next topic, which is happiness is a choice. um and happiness is a choice for me because when you really just think about it, those times that you feeling down, those times where what I mean, we're kind of depressed, and we just sit in those emotions sometimes, right? Why do we do that so much? Why do we not just, and don't get me wrong, I know, like, I know just as much as the next person, like, it's times where you feel like you in a rut emotionally and you can't get out. So I'm definitely not being insensitive and thinking that it's super easy for us just to shake these emotions. No, no way. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, a lot of times, if we've been down for so long, at some point we got to make that choice to be happy and say, you know what, I'm going to chase happiness. I'm going to chase this peace of mind that I need and I want. I'm just gonna chase happiness and just choose to be happy after a certain while of being down. Like, we can't just sit in these emotions forever. Like, we gotta make that choice. Like, today I'm getting up and I'm being happy. Like, I'm being grateful for it. Like, I'm just not finna keep going to a spiral of feeling like I gotta be down or I gotta be depressed all the time. Nah, I'm choosing to be happy. So I just wanted to say that choices of happiness. And something that made me also think of this was, like, with me, a few years back, I was in a super dark place, right? And I used to always go walking, and I never forget this one particular day, right? I went to this park, and by this park there was a highway, um, or a bypass, and the cars was just flowing. And what those cars symbolized to me was life. And what I mean by this is, life is always gonna go on. So if you know that life is always gonna go on, guys, when God continues to bless us with new days, why not choose to be happy in that time? Don't get me wrong. Again, we all gonna face those times of being down, but why not choose to be happy for a majority of your life or a majority of your days that you blessed with, right? Because life is going to continue to go on. Nobody really cares, you know what I mean, if you choose to be happy or down, because life will go on. And I never forget sitting at that part thinking that, like, yo, I'm in like one of the worst spaces I've ever been in, spiritually, mentally, physically, just everything. I was just in a dark, dark and just bad space. But watching those cars pass, I say, you know what? Life is gonna go on, bro. Like nobody cares. You know what I mean? Outside of like your people that really support you and the people that want to see you be better and want to help you along the way, outside of that nobody cares, bro. Like it's so much going on in the world. We gotta make that choice again to be happy, um and how to get out of feeling perturbed and those anxiety moments, and just choose that happiness and choose that peace. So I just wanted to share that story with you guys because that was something that I went through. And ever since then, when I find myself being depressed or I go through things that, may get me down in life and I had those days, I also just try to think back to that time and also think about, you know what, I've been down for a couple days now. Now it's time for me to choose happiness and choose peace. So I just wanted to say that it's definitely okay to feel these ways, but choose happiness and also realize that life is always gonna go on. So keep pushing. Now, with that being said, we're gonna transition more into like some darker topics that definitely need to be discussed. And the first one is the lovely Breonna Taylor. Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. Um, it's ridiculous, man. As you guys may be aware of now, the verdict came back, and again, we've received no justice for this senseless, killing. Taking Breonna Taylor away from not only her family, but from just the world, like in the spirit wise, like it's another soul that we've lost to senseless police brutality. You know what I mean? And we we didn't get any justice for it. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. And yes, the settlement, as many of you know, her family came to an agreement for a settlement with the city of Louisville for $12 million. And like a lot of you guys, I feel like you can't put a price tag on somebody's life or say that, hey, we're gonna give you this $12 million to justify, what happened. And that be your way of acknowledging, but on the other hand, you saying we're not going to give you justice, but we will grant you some money. It's kind of like, it's like contradictory. Like it's just like, again, they playing with us. Like they really just playing with us, and it's really just getting aggravated. I'm very concerned, I'm very perturbed. Like it's just like, it's ridiculous, man. But there definitely was some small positives that came out of this settlement. So I don't want to just focus on like us not receiving the justice that we know needed to be granted to us, but realizing that there was some small positives out of the settlement, rather than just, the $12 million. And it was, so the city of Louisville is now looking into like the reforms of the police, and also they're looking into the no knock policy that they had in place, to where you can't just walk in people's house like that, or not even walk, excuse me, knock down people's doors and just get the shooting in people's house. So they're looking into that, um man, and they're changing that policy. So that's definitely a good thing, because it's been affecting people of color, and not only the people of color, but you affecting police too. You can't just expect to walk in people's house and nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like it's just ridiculous. So, you know what I mean? To those who are unfamiliar with the settlement, I definitely say do your due diligence and go check into the settlement, because there are some small positives. Sometimes that's all we gotta, like sometimes we just gotta take the positives that we can get out of a super nasty bad situation that keeps happening over and over, and just keep pushing. Like, yeah, we not satisfied with no settlement, but we also realize that this is something that's been going on and just keeps happening. And at some point, we gotta, you know what I mean? We just gotta step up and do what we can on our end, so we don't have to keep, you know what I mean, holding our hands out, asking for justice when they don't want to give us any at all. So I just wanted to speak on that. And man, this really brings me to thinking about the times of the 50s, right? So when you think about the Montgomery bus boycott, when they boycotted the whole bus system, um I feel like we got to get back to those times. We got to get back to those times of the things like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, the things that they was teaching us. Like, yo, we got to take action. Forget all this sitting back and hoping things will get better, because we live in a system that is built to operate the way it is operating. And to those who created this system, it's operating at the perfect, it's operating just at a it's operating the way that they want it to. And if you are not a part of the like that group, of course everything is going to be against you. Everything, you're going to be fighting against this system. You're going to be fighting against all of these things that are put in place to have the system operating at the way and the pace that they wanted to. So what I'm saying is we need to get back to the times of like the 1950s and just the civil rights movements that were really impactful. Like, they were actually making change. Like, they were actually committed. You know what I mean? People were willing to die. People were willing to take lives. Like, God forgive me, but people were able to do people were willing to do whatever it took to get justice. People were willing to, our people, not just people, but our people were willing to go to the whatever 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 level they needed to go to. They were willing to do it because they were sick and tired of being treated unhumane. They were tired of being treated less than a like just less than the average. Like, we are fighting for equality. I think we all know that. But what is it going what's when are we going to get that equality if we just keep sitting here holding our arms out expecting them to change a system that they clearly, you know what I mean, perfected and got it running at the pace that they wanted to run. So basically, I just wanted to say, let's just, that's like, we got to figure out how can we get that mentality back of like the 1950s, and just from that point on to just actually being about that change and demanding it, and going to some levels that had to be gone to. And also, when things like police brutality happens, there needs to be, I feel like we need a group put in place that's gonna take some action. Whether it's them police who do it are gonna be dealt with. I'm not sitting up here saying that go around killing folk. But what I am saying is, you kill one of ours, something has to happen. It ain't finna just be no, you finna take administrative leave and, you know what I mean, that's it. And we just gonna be out here marching in the streets and that's it. Nah, something has to happen. Now, we probably need to have some of these discussions off camera to discuss what we gonna do, and some things that can be, you know what I mean, taking place when things like this happen. So I'm definitely not gonna go too deep into it, but I definitely want to say that there needs to be some groups and something put in place to where you take one of ours, it ain't finna just be you leaving and nah, that's it. Nah. Mm. So I just wanted to say that, man, but that because that's something that we've been that's something that I've been really just thinking about, and I think that we've been lacking in our community for a long while now, for some years, because they take all of our leaders who give us that confidence, who actually stand on the things that they believe and that they're preaching to us. They take our leaders away, so they set us back like generations. And then all we thinking is just like, man, no matter what, when we fight, they just kill us off, or they just, you know what I mean, deter us away from the mission. And I feel like it's been a long time since we actually had like leaders who, and don't get me wrong, we got leaders today, but there's been a while since we've had like the leaders like the Martin Luthers and the Malcolm X's, the just the list goes on of leaders who was actually about that and just stood on it like we'll do whatever it takes. Like I would lose my life if it came down to it. And we got to get back to that mentality. So I just wanted to speak on that. And another thing that I wanted to talk about was, as blacks, we have no value to the other side. So let's stop looking for the validation. Now, please understand what I'm saying when I say this. I'm not saying that we don't have any value. I'm saying in someone else's opinion, we don't have value. So why do we constantly, again, have our hands out looking for that validation? Like, yo, can you please embrace me? I'm human. They don't think so. So why do we continue to do that? Let's just focus on our community. Let's focus on us as a race and say, you know what, you are valuable to me as another black person. And that's all that matters. We don't care what the world thinks about us. We gonna operate and do what we need to in our communities. Let's focus on this. Let's also fight for justice. And like don't let that slip away. That's not what I'm saying. Like we ain't gonna get away from that. But what I am saying, let's work with it like as a village, like to where we focusing on what we can do and what we can control. Because when you don't matter to someone, or you were looked at as less than to someone, and they had a mind made up, it's nothing really you can, what can you do? What can you do to sway someone else's opinion of you? Like, it's nothing you can do. Like, so why not just focus on yourself, focus on your community, focus on your race, and build like that, rather than always having our hands out. Okay, can you value me? Can you value me? They don't care. So it's just like, at some point we got to get over that and say we matter to us. We've been preaching Black Lives Matter. We've been preaching treat us equal. We've been preaching, can we have the same rights? Can we have the same? Can we have the same? They're constantly telling us we don't look at you like you the same. So at some point we gotta say, okay, you know what? That's cool. Y'all stay over there. We're gonna work how we work. And simple and plain, and watch the change that you see, because then you start to move from an independent mindset, like, oh, okay, it's really possible. If we lean on each other, we can do it. Like, we don't need the other side. So I just wanted to speak on that and say, man, that's something that we got to take into consideration, and let's just keep moving. Now, something else that the last topic that I wanted to talk about was the social dilemma. This is a documentary on Netflix. I'm not sure if you can find it somewhere else, but that's where I've been watching it. It's called The Social Dilemma. Um, and it's touching on just like the effects and the impacts of social media, and just how it's affecting us mentally, and just affecting society. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I think it's something that we definitely all need to watch. Again, it's called The Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix. You probably can find it some other places, but that's why I've been watching it. Please tap into it, because it's shedding light on how just these phones, man, they of course we all know everything got a good and bad side, but it's way deeper. It's showing us how they really, I'm playing with our, they just playing with so much, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, they really controlling our lives and we don't even know it. So I definitely say you guys should definitely tap into it. If you watch it, let me know how you feel about it down on the comments. And yeah, let's just find a way to all be progressive, move forward, and just find a way we could change each other's lives in a positive way. And I feel like throughout the times of feeling perturbed and the anxiety, there's always a upside to all of these things. Not only that, the emotions of life, but just life in general. And with that being said, guys, this has concluded another episode of the Progression Podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back very soon, so you guys stay tuned. Um, Again, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share these videos. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget, Sports Fanatics, tune in to the Stats and Facts podcast on YouTube as well. Subscribe to that channel. I appreciate that as well. And yeah, it's been another dope episode. Guys, do not be afraid to comment below, engage. Let's have some talks. Also, if you guys feel like you want to hold some conversations, um, email me, message me. And I'm super down to have conversations with you guys. So we can, you know what I mean? We can have our own episode. If you want to tap in with me, that can be an episode. I can have an episode with you. Let me know. Tap in with me. So yeah, I say all of these things to say, man, let's just find a way to push forward as a people. Find a way to be positive and maneuver through the times of perturbedness. And yeah, so your boy is out. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Love.